Life is interesting, and I don't use that term lightly. And I'm just going to kind of speak from the heart today in this video. So it'll be a little bit different. And today I want to talk about grief and really what it does to us and the displeasure that we find ourselves in. Maybe it's me getting older, maybe it's the phase I'm in, maybe it's the chapter I'm in, but my hope is that sharing this today will resonate with you. And my hope is that someone will hear this and that they will realize that they are not so alone in their thoughts that they may be plagued with at times. So if you've ever struggled with anxiety or grief, this video is for you. And it's interesting. In the work that I've gotten to do, specifically in my career, in working with men that are facing divorce and going through separation, and the sweet disposition that I've found myself in, I've gotten to hear a lot of stories of things that happen and things that are truth, and also things that are not truth, and things that are story. And I think it's really easy as humans for us to get stuck in the stories and the monotonous and the mundane of routines. And when we get stuck in those things, we start to get stuck in this thought loop of overanalysis, paralysis. And the definition of insanity is literally doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome. And lately I've been thinking about that, on how many times I need to learn the same lesson before I finally learn the lesson. And it leads me to this conclusion and this thought where these days I feel like the meaning in life, or the meaning of life, is hung up on how well I can function in a society ruled by human beings. And they tell me all of what to care about. Every click, slide, scroll, feeding more thoughts I did not consent to thinking. And we start to get stuck in this dogma of paranoia, where comparison meets paranoia. And it's a sweet disposition that we find ourselves in society. And everything is so physical these days, and everything's also moving towards digital. And it's almost paradoxical, these things that were created to connect us leave us feeling disconnected and unaware and unconnected with others. And as humans, we're meant to experience two things. It's to love and be loved, and to feel connected. We're meant to thrive in communities, and we're meant to thrive together. Yet we're living in this paradigm of paranoia, and that creates anxiety. And with that, it's a part of the experience I feel like we're all meant to have. And I think it's interesting because we put so much emphasis on things like status, clout, and ego. We prioritize only what we can see and disregard the rest as what cannot be. This earth has interpreted everything it could and thought the rest to be impossible, leaving us as broken vessels, attempting to fill a spiritual gap with physical fixes, never being fully fulfilled. And if that resonates with you, I want to share with you that the reason to smile is found in what you leave, not in what you gain. Truthfully, let's be honest. We are living in an upside down world where we put all of these things before our own comfort and our own well-being. And I think it's interesting, this experience of life that we all get to have, and this sweet disposition that we find ourselves in. As I've gotten older, I think it's intriguing. The things that mattered years ago don't matter much now. And the things that matter now may or may not matter as much years from now, but I don't know. And tomorrow is never promised, which brings me back to being completely present and how this connects to anxiety. I firmly believe that anxiety comes from us wanting to have all of the answers right now, that clarity, and it's a sweet disposition to be in. So if you've ever experienced anxiety and your time feels out of reach and circumstances feel like they're blockades, or maybe some days you feel like you need the strength of Hercules to pull yourself out of bed, I want to remind you that life can be much sweeter than the anxious thoughts that you commonly get stuck in. Because I've been there. I've struggled with it. And very recently I started to arrive to this conclusion that maybe sometimes I have high functioning anxiety. And this isn't self-diagnosis. It's a legitimate thought that I've had as time has gone on. Because high functioning anxiety on the surface level looks like someone who's calm, collected, organized, has all of their stuff together and in line, when realistically, they're putting a face on. So if you're someone that struggles with anxiety, I'm gonna give you 3 steps to support yourself and how you are feeling right now. And these are 3 tools that I have used to specifically help myself when I have felt that sense of overwhelm, that sense of overanalysis, paralysis, because you are not alone in those thoughts. Anxiety and uncertainty are not unique to you, but the context of what you're experiencing is. So if you're still with me, I'm going to share these 3 tools that I like to use. Starting with number 1, own it. It's as simple as that. Own it. Own the thing that you are overanalyzing. Write it down. Make it real. Say it out loud. As humans, we learn in 2 ways, visually and auditory. When we say something out loud, we hear it. We can hear our cadence, our vocal tonality. When we write something, it becomes real. It's tangible. So that's step 1, own it. Make it real. Step 2, express gratitude for the things that you do have. Literally write down 3 things that you're grateful for. It puts things into perspective. I love gratitude because it reminds us of what we do have. It unlocks the fullness of life. It really turns what we have into enough and then some. Gratitude's powerful. I think the true test of a man is someone that can have gratitude when they're losing. And I'll put this into perspective. It is really easy to have gratitude when you're winning, when you're getting all the new things, and when you're crushing it. But it's even more difficult to have gratitude when things are not going well for you, when you are not in abundance, and when things aren't happening for you. That's the true test of gratitude. And that's step 2, express gratitude for the things that you do have. And then that brings me to step 3, which is do something for yourself. And it sounds simple, and it is, but so commonly we overthink it. In the line of work that I get to do, very commonly, men specifically, because I only work with men, do not do things for themselves. It's not selfless or selfish to put your family first or your significant other. I recommend those things. However, having your own individuality and doing something for yourself has a powerful compound effect. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And if you're so dutifully pouring into others, this is your permission slip to do something for yourself. I appreciate you tuning in today. If you liked what you heard, do me a favor, hit the like button, share it with something, subscribe, share your thoughts down below. It really helps me as a creator to continue to create these type of videos. With that being said, I appreciate you being here, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.